All right, so we are on top of the hour. Welcome and thanks for being here. I don't know if for all of you is super early as it is for me, but it's an honor to be part of such a big event. So my name is João Ferreira. I know it's a hard one to pronounce, but it's one of the most common names here in Portugal. And today I'm here to speak a little bit about the development methods and what you have available today for you to extend Microsoft Teams. So before we jump into the session, let me just tell you a bit more about myself. So I have a degree in computer science. 4 years, I thought I would be a mobile app developer, but then my first job was with SharePoint and I fell in love. And since I've started working, I never left SharePoint again. I've worked with SharePoint mainly on branding, and I embraced Teams since the day I met the application, and I'm absolutely in love with the application and with all these extensibility. And nowadays I spend most of my day building extensions and creating new functionalities inside of the app. I also run now 3 different blogs: Ends on SharePoint, Ends on Teams, and Ends on Microsoft Lists. And during this pandemic, I wrote a book called Ends on Microsoft Teams. All right, so for those of you that don't know, and I don't think there's someone here that don't know yet what is Teams, but I always include this slide just to recap what Teams is. It's the hub for teamwork inside of the Microsoft ecosystem. It's the fast ever growing business app, and it's the place where you can easily spend most of your day working. If Teams all of a sudden became an operating system and was the only thing installed on the computer, I'm sure that most of the users would be able to do all their daily job tasks without ever needing another app, because this allows you to basically bring everything inside of the application. All right, so I had this video here to show you. I don't know if you will hear my sound. I think you will not, but basically this is Steve Ballmer screaming developers, developers, developers in the stage a few years ago. And I can easily picture Satya, if they had the same profile, screaming on the stage, Teams, Teams, Teams. And that's really the place to be for developers and for everyone that wants to extend Microsoft Teams. When I start doing Microsoft Teams presentations, this slide had 16 million daily active users. And every time I do a new session, I need to touch this number. So 75 plus million daily active users. This is the number from Ignite. And this is a lot of people working daily inside of a single application. It's a huge, huge, huge opportunity for everyone to build content and to extend Microsoft Teams. All right, so how can Teams be extended? There are 3 different ways that are highlighted here. There are the methods that are fast, but do not provide a huge way of customizing Teams. And I'm talking about the apps that you get from the App Store. Then in the middle, you have something that it's already somehow customizable, but takes a bit more time. But still, you are limited to the platforms. I'm talking about the App Studio inside of Microsoft Teams and the Power Platform. And then we have the apps from scratch. And here we have all the Teams SDK and Teams generators and SharePoint framework. So the sky is the limit for the apps from scratch. Obviously, it will take more time. You will need more skilled people to do those kind of apps. But you have ways of extending Teams for basically every profile that you will find ever inside of Microsoft Teams. So let's start with the app templates, and let's skip the store directly, because the store, it's like any other store, like the ones we have on our mobile phone. So you go there, you search for an app, and if you find what you are looking for, you just install it, and that's it. Then we have the app templates, and app templates are solutions that are available.
I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a disturbance coming from the background. I'm gonna go and mute everybody, and then please go ahead and unmute yourself. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So app templates are solutions that are provided by Microsoft, are plug-and-play experiences built to solve a specific scenario. They are one-click deployment, and they are open source. So you have the possibility to take what Microsoft is providing, and you can modify it, and you can brand it, and you can refine it to your own needs. I used to have here a list of all the applications that were available, but yesterday I checked the portal, and I decided to remove, because nowadays there are 32 apps available to be installed, and all of them can be found in here. So as an example, I have here an HR support bot that works as a personal app that you can have a conversation with. It has a bot. Instead of going to the HR department directly, you can try to find your answers first through this app. You have also dedicated links and connects you directly with someone in the experts team. So all of this and all of this experience was built in by Microsoft and made available, so all of us can take advantage of this. We can get the code, install the app, and if we need to tweak it to make it more aligned with our internal processes, then we have the source code to do it. So you have also access to the articles that you have published for your HR, and these are common links that you can define in the settings of the app and make them available in a central location for all your users. Another example is this company communicator, where you can send targeted communications to all employees or to specific groups. Again, built-in, you don't have to worry about building it from scratch. It's there, you just have to deploy it. And one of my favorites here, the list search that gets items from SharePoint directly into Microsoft Teams. And this GIF shows you how the app actually works. And this does all the connection and all the plumbing between both platforms, and then displays the item as an adaptive card inside of the chat. So just to show you what Microsoft is being putting there, let me go here and let me show you the portal. So in the right side, you have all the available apps, the 32, and all the ones with the star are the new ones. And this one caught my eye yesterday. It's a building access app that can be easily used on the today's pandemic situation. So if you need to request time to go to the office, this is the kind of app that you can use and put inside of Microsoft Teams. Some of these apps were built specifically for Teams. Others take advantage of the Power Platform, but Microsoft bundled all this together. So common questions about these type of apps and these extensibility points. Are they secure? They are secure, and Microsoft recommend and confirm that the best practices are taken when these apps are made available. What would it take to take these apps available in my tenant? All apps come with detailed deployment instructions. In most of them, you will have to be the admin of your tenant. So it deploys stuff on Teams, on Azure. So you will need to have the right permissions. That is the answer for the third question. Can everyone deploy the app? Obviously, the right permissions are needed to deploy the app. And the last question, and this one, it's important. Do these apps cost anything? The apps are absolutely free, but because of everything they use and depending on the app, you may incur in Azure consumption, and that will obviously depend on the app and the usage that your users will have on the app. But take this into consideration when you are deploying it. You may incur in Azure consumption. All right. If you want to see a more detailed experience of the app templates, have a look at this video, app templates for Microsoft Teams. This is on the Coffee in the Cloud YouTube channel, and this QR code points you directly to the video. And this has almost a year, but it will give you a good idea of how the apps work, and it has cool demos that you will be able to see. All right, so still in the middle tier of the extensibility, we have the Power Platform. All right, so Power Platform now has these three applications: Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents, and all of them can bring new stuff to Microsoft Teams. So you can easily embed reports inside Teams in tabs. You can bring your existing Power Apps to Teams, and they will behave as a native app for the platform. You can automate processes with Power Automate inside of Teams, and you will be able to easily build your own bots visually with the Power Virtual Agents. This one is the last one to be was the last one that was added to the Power Platform, and in reality, it's one of the best things I've seen coming to this platform, because everyone nowadays can build a bot in a few clicks. All right, so a low-code approach to build apps with the Power Apps. You will be able to, as I said, bring everything you have already deployed. Power Apps are available for quite a long time now, and this integrates greatly with other apps in the Microsoft ecosystem, or even external data sources. So if you are familiar already with a specific Power App, there's no way for you not to bring it to your Microsoft Teams ecosystem. And it can be done for everyone inside of a team, or specifically for you if you want to use it as a personal app, as we will see. So Power Apps enable enterprise app distribution at a scale through Microsoft Teams App Catalog. It empowers frontline workers by enabling easy access to Power Apps from the Teams mobile. And this is a good point. You, instead of having the app installed on your mobile, you can access to it directly from the Teams mobile app. So no switching between apps on your mobile. That usually take more time unless you have one of those new super fancy surfaces with Android and 2 screens. And supercharge Power Apps with collaboration and capabilities in Teams like chat and calling. So here we have 2 real examples of Power Apps that were built for Microsoft Teams by people that by no means were developers and never had anything to do with app development. So This is an app made by Lauren Taylor, assistant principal in the Tacoma Public School District, and she built this app by herself to keep track of the reading assessments of their students. So awesome that people that never thought about developing and building stuff, now it's building and it's empowered to create real apps that solve real world scenarios in their jobs. Another example, it's the American Red Cross. This app allows supplies to add things to a shopping cart, and again, completely built with the Power Platform. It's embedded inside of Microsoft Teams and can be easily accessed by anyone in the platform. All right, so benefits of the Power Apps in Teams. Power Apps are available in Teams where critical work and collaboration it's already happening. IT admins can distribute Power Apps in a scalable manner by publishing them to the tenant app catalog in Teams, and frontline workers can access Power Apps in the Teams mobile app. So all positive points. How do you then deploy the Power Apps? I will jump the development of a Power App. We only have 40 minutes on this session, but I want to show you how you can add a Power App to Microsoft Teams. And you have two different ways of doing it. You can do it globally for your team, or you can do it for yourself as a personal app. So let me jump here into the browser. And let me open this here. So if you want to add it globally to a team where you are working with other coworkers, the only thing you have to do is select the channel where you want to add it. Click on the plus sign, look for the Power Apps. They have this new beautiful icon that starts to be propagated in the ecosystem last week, and then you just need to pick the apps you have in the Power App. So that's it. Click on save, and this will bring the budget tracker app to the Microsoft Teams context, and everyone in this team will have access to the app. Now, what if this app was just for me and I was the only one in charge of keeping the budget tracker for the events? Well, I'm able to deploy this as a personal app, and I'm able to access to it from the vertical menu of personal apps. To do that, the process it's really simple as well. All you have to do is to open Power Apps, click on Apps to see the list of all the apps you have available. Click on the three dots. Click on Add to Teams, and click on Download App. This will get you the package for the application, and then if you want to make it as available as a personal app for more than one user and you are an admin, you will be able to install it and deploy it through policies to make them available to everyone in this vertical bar. Like I have here this White Sand app that is a custom app showing how beaches look like in Portugal, and the same thing can happen with Power Apps. If you want to install it just for yourself, go to Apps, upload a custom app, and upload it for me or my teams. And since this would be a personal app, then it will appear right away there. Right. I'm not checking the chat. Let me just see. Okay, no questions so far.
I have one thing to ask here very quickly.
Yeah,
can you just quickly go back to the screen where you export and showing the Microsoft Teams to upload the app? The browser where you were in your, the third screen on the tab.
This one?
The fourth tab where you have a solution called Canvas app
Here?
that's helped you. No, the third one maybe. Yeah, there you go. So what exactly you're doing here? Can you just explain? Because
I'm downloading the application package for this app to be installed inside of Microsoft Teams as a standalone app to use it as an individual app like this. So it's already here. So if I open it, as you can see, this is my the same app that I added here inside of the team.
Great.
It's also available here as a personal app, and I'm able to pin it. If I was in the desktop version, I was able to move it and positioning the app here. And once the app is installed like this, and if it is installed by the admin and it's installed globally, the admin have the possibility to make it visible automatically to users using policies. For some reason, today seems not to be working, but I did this before, and then that generates the package file, and the only thing you have to do is then to upload it here, and the app will become available in here under the built-in for the organization, as you can see here.
Thank you. Great.
All right. So moving forward, Microsoft Flow or Power Automate. I never knew how to call this when talking about it for Microsoft Teams. So this is Power Automate, and this is what enables you to build custom processes, not just inside of Microsoft Teams, but it's great in Microsoft Teams. So you can automate pretty much anything. There are this number, I think it's super outdated. There are a lot more connectors than 230, and like other things in the Microsoft ecosystem, there are things that are free inside of Power Automate. There are connectors that are available as part of a premium service, but this will give you a lot of power to build stuff. So I will show you how this works quickly before we run out of time. So inside of Microsoft Teams, if you click in the plus sign and if you search for Flow, despite receiving the new icon inside of Teams, the app still has the old name. Instead of Power Automate, it's called Flow. You will get access to everything you have running. So you will be able to create new flows and access things from Microsoft Teams, from Flow directly inside of the Microsoft Teams ecosystem. But if you go here to Power Automate, this is where the magic happens. So from here, you will be able to create your own flows. And I have here already this flow that it's prepared to post a message inside of Teams when an announcement is created in a SharePoint list. So this is using a classic announcements list in SharePoint. No one uses that anymore, but if for some reason anyone goes there and posts an announcement there, then the word is spread on Microsoft Teams using this option to post your own adaptive card as a flow bot into the channel. So this adaptive card will give you superpowers, and even if you are not a developer, this will make you look like a super skilled developer, because there are an adaptive card portal where you can build your card visually, it will generate this JSON file, and then all you have to do in Power Automate is to replace the text values by the columns or by the values of your main trigger. So here I have this card, and I'm printing the title of the list, the body, and the picture of the user that posted this. So just to show you how this works, let me quickly go here to the list, and let me open it. Let me just check where it was. Okay, wrong side collection. All right, announcements. All right. And it's saved. And now this announcement that was posted on SharePoint, but no one will see unless they come to this list, will appear in the general channel of the hands-on teams. So if we go here to this general channel, by now we should have, or at least we should have here the card. Let's see. All runs. October 7, it just ran. So here it is. So this is the announcement that I did in SharePoint, and I did it specifically for SharePoint, but this can be done with several different things. So on my company, I have a channel that we use just to keep track with news from the Microsoft blogs, and we have an RSS posting using Flow. We have it posting the new posts that Microsoft does in the Microsoft Teams blog and SharePoint blog inside of that channel, so everyone can consume them without the need to go to those blogs. And that is made through the Power Automate. So it's a visual thing that empowers you to build and to solve real business scenarios without writing a single line of code. All right, so moving forward, how are we in time? We have 10 minutes. This, again, it's a bit outdated, and there are more triggers and more actions. And let me just go back here just to show you. So if we click here to add it to Flow, we can see all the actions available for Teams. Some of them are in preview, others are already public, but as you can see, there are a lot of actions. And when you start a flow from scratch, there are also triggers that you can use. Okay, whatever. Teams, and there are less triggers than actions, but you can automate stuff like when a new member when the Teams member is removed, when a new member is added for a specific or selected message, when I'm mentioned in a channel. And this is particularly useful if you want to keep track this separately outside of Teams. So the sky, again, it's really the limit in terms of automation for Microsoft Teams using the Power Automate. All right, SharePoint and SharePoint framework. Here we scale a level in terms of complexity, and I like to say that Microsoft Teams loves SharePoint and SharePoint loves Microsoft Teams. Both the teams share a lot of the platform architecture that exists on SharePoint. Files are stored in SharePoint, and SharePoint can be the source for all the information you have in Teams. There are endless integration, files, news, rich landing pages, and now I have here SharePoint lists, but at this stage we should call it Microsoft lists, even though Microsoft lists are in reality SharePoint lists. So Microsoft lists / SharePoint lists, and this brings us to the SharePoint framework. That it's the modern client-side development for SharePoint. This is not new. This became available in 2016, and it has been evolving since then. It's on version 1.11, and if you are a developer, this is what you will want to use. It handles the authentication for you. It has everything built in. There's a lot of components and examples built for this. And the thing that I like the most about this is that all the authentication and all the plumbing between an app on Teams or SharePoint and Microsoft Graph is handled easily just by defining and accepting permissions. And the most important thing when compared with the traditional development methods of Microsoft Teams, you have a free hosting with CDN. So you don't have to worry about hosting your own app as you do when you are developing specifically for Microsoft Teams. SharePoint takes care of that. You just have to deploy it to the app catalog, and the app will become immediately available to everyone in Teams or in SharePoint. So, common needs for the end user. Get the information wherever they are working. If they are working on SharePoint, they want to get the information there. If they are working on Teams, they want to get the information there. Microsoft realized this a long time ago, and this Ignite was the proof of that with the release of the home site app and the new slogan, if you are living on Microsoft Teams, so is your intranet. So this is the need for the end users. The IT admins, they want to reduce the number of places to manage and deploy solutions. So if they can take care of that in the SharePoint app catalog, great, they will manage everything from there. And there's no need to manage apps in the app catalog from SharePoint and the app catalog for Microsoft Teams. And the developer, obviously, as a developer myself, we want to reach the maximum scenarios and if we can, target 2 different platforms with a single code, great. I'm all up for it. All right. Again, SharePoint framework web parts can be exposed as Microsoft Team tabs, and today they can also be exposed as personal apps. They are the apps, the SharePoint web parts that are displayed in Microsoft Teams. They are hosted inside of SharePoint, and there's a page on SharePoint that hosts your solution. The page, it's in the layouts folder. There's no way for you to go there and try to open it and see what is there, because the page will only work inside of Teams. And that is the page that handles all the authentication things and does all the plumbing with the Graph and Web API. So awesome thing made by Microsoft. It wipes the complexity of the authentication from your applications and will save you a lot of time when developing. So when you display the app in a SharePoint app inside of Microsoft Teams. So the first thing you have to do is to package the application and deploy it to the app catalog. You will have to deploy the STPKG file, and Teams will generate you the files to either deploy it with the zip manually for Microsoft Teams, or now you have also a button in the app catalog to synchronize the app to Teams, and then it becomes available in here in the add an app inside of Microsoft Teams. So I have here another example just to show you. And if I go here to apps, apps for SharePoint, let me search the video playlist. So this is an app that was built, or maybe the script editor, maybe that one is better. Okay, this is an app that was built by the community for Teams and SharePoint. And when I click here in Files and have it selected, it is deployed for SharePoint, but also has this button to sync the app for Microsoft Teams. This was done already. So now if I come here and click to add a tab and search for script editor, I have here my modern script editor. And this is my SharePoint framework app running inside of Microsoft Teams and ready to be used. So super easy to do this connection. If you are familiar with the SharePoint framework, there is no way for you to not build apps for Teams. Good thing about this framework, you will get the context of the app. So if you are on SharePoint, you will get the context of SharePoint. If you are on Teams, you will get the context of Teams. So you can take specific actions depending on the platform where the app is being rendered. All right, we are running out of time, so I will skip this. We've seen it already working. Everything here, it's stored in the cloud and it's stored on the Microsoft side, so no worries for you, no need for you to storage it. And just before we finish, and if you are using the traditional development methods that are available for Microsoft Teams, using the Teams Yeoman generator or using the Teams SDK, and if you have built an app already for Microsoft Teams, you will be able also to build it, to bring it to SharePoint. So it's a both way path. So this app here, this to-dos app that should open in here, it's in reality an app that was made for Teams specifically, and for some reason it doesn't, it's not opening in here. Here it is. So CSS was not loaded for some reason, but this app was made for Teams specifically. And if you look here, I have a zip file installed on my SharePoint app catalog, and this is my Teams app installed on the app catalog on SharePoint. So if you already have the app built for Teams specifically, bring it to SharePoint. It's simply as upload the zip to SharePoint, and that will become available as an application on SharePoint. All right, so on top of the hour again, time flies here. Before we leave, just left you with this 10 top reasons why SharePoint framework in Teams rocks. And sorry if I said too many times that the SharePoint framework is awesome to extend Teams. I will highlight 2 or 3 things from this list. No need to host a website or page. Great. It means that you will be able to deploy and host your apps internally for free. Single sign-on built-in. Great, I don't have to worry about it. It will use whatever the permissions, and it will handle all the security standards implemented by Microsoft. And if we go all the way to the bottom, number 10, the SharePoint community. SharePoint community has a huge number of members, and if you need help with something related with development, just go to one of the GitHub projects, ask for help, reach to someone in the community in Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever. I'm sure as a member of this community, I'm sure that someone will help you, and in no time you will have an answer to your problems. So with this, we came to the end of the session. I'm 1 minute late, but here are my contacts in case you want to get in touch after the session. You can reach me directly through the email João Ferreira @amazonTech.net or on Twitter, João12 Ferreira, or directly from my blogs and on SharePoint and on Teams, and now and on Microsoft Lists. All right, so now please rate and provide feedback. I'm sure this is super important for the upcoming events. And with this, the organizers will be able to improve the session so all of us can get better events for next time. With this, I'm open to questions. Let me bring Teams here to the top so I can look to the camera.
We do have few questions.
Okay. How many connectors there are now? Anyone counted? For Flow, I think this is for Power Automate. I don't know the number of connectors, but I think that's written.
I sent the link already for the attendance.
All right. Okay.
So you can see my reply.
Super slow. I'm trying to scroll, but this is jumping up and down. I don't see any other question.
There's a question. It says, will a SPFX framework app be able to authenticate by the Teams token?
I don't know what Marcus mean about Teams token, but the SharePoint framework app will do the authentication automatically. So through that web part page that I mentioned, that page has code that will do a silent sign in for the user. So then the authentication cookie is stored inside of the application, and it will handle all the authentication. So the user will be authenticated on the SharePoint with the same credentials they have on Teams, and the permissions are pretty much the same.
Great. And you can always have an option while you're working with the Teams app. In the configurations, you have to set up the AAD sign-on ID, right?
Yeah.
As well as app ID.
Yeah, that comes, and sorry, we didn't have time, but I had that here prepared to show. That part comes configured in the manifest. Let me go here to source the Teams manifest. So this is
can you
how
zoom out
manifest.
the screen, please? Sorry, so that people see it, because I see the screen is very. Know what I'm saying? Can you zoom in and zoom out?
I will increase the font.
Yeah. No. All right. No issue. That's okay.
My my Visual Studio Code sometimes has these things, but let's bring it to here.
It's better now.
Let's give it some color. So here, this is the manifest that it's generated automatically for SharePoint Framework app, and this is the file that it's in reality is installed on Teams once you install the SharePoint Framework. This is the manifest for the tab. So there's the configuration URL, and as you can see, it goes to this Teams logon ASPFX page, and this is what handles the authentication. And this is inside of SharePoint. So every site, sorry, I clicked that. Every site collection has this page. So it doesn't matter where you are. It exists everywhere. Then you have to whitelist the domains. Microsoft does it with wildcard domains. If you try to do this yourself when you are building it through the App Studio, this will trigger a warning. But if it is SharePoint.com or log.microsoft.com, no big deal. We don't have to worry about it. We know what it is. So it can be done. And then the ID of the web application that handles everything and does all the plumbing. And this combined with this and this are the things that do all the magic inside of the Teams app and handle the authentication. All right. I think that's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. And it was a great insight of people to know, what's the extended capability look like. I know there are a lot of out-of-the-box applications that a person can use, the employee can use within the Teams, but there's always an opportunity where you can go and jump into the Azure, Graph, SharePoint Framework, and Power Platform and bring more applications to your users within the Teams. And the one example that you've shown in that you have a Power Apps in the Canvas app and you zip it, move it to the custom app and make it available using the administration capability. So I think there are good takeaways from the sessions that definitely have extensibility and development efforts needed to build those sort of scenarios. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hope this was useful for some of you. Obviously, we didn't went too deep, but 40 minutes, it's just enough for the overview. But if someone wants to go a bit deeper, feel free to reach out to me, and I will be glad to explain you and to share what I know about the development of Teams extensions.
Great.
All right, guys. Wish you all a good day. And again, thanks for being in this session and have an awesome Teams Fest day.
All right. Great.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.